What's up guys, my name is TechnoTuner and today I'm bringing you my test hands video for my Thunder Dragon Bystial K9 deck. It is so freaking fun to play this deck. I haven't felt this way about like being able to have the control capabilities of the old build in a hot minute. This deck has a lot of capability of going farther and wider, being able to offer you plays into Xyz, Synchro, Fusions, and Links, while being able to further break your opponent's board apart. For this deck profile, I'm going to be going through, and since this deck likes to usually go second, we're going to go ahead and do 2 test hands of us going second, and then 1 going first, but we're going to first start off with us going first as a initial test hand, just so I can give you a little bit more of an example of what this deck can set up. Alright, let's go ahead and hop right on into this, and I'm sorry for that confusing comment there at the beginning. Anyways, we start off with Thunder Dragon Roar, Thunder Dragon OG, a Emergency Teleport, a Branded Regained, and a K9 66A Jokel. So one thing we can utilize here is activate Branded Regained right off bat, and then Emergency Teleport. We'll go ahead and Emergency Teleport get us a Mental Tuner onto the board. We do not have to activate its effects right off bat, but just so you guys know, that at the end step, it will be banished during the end phase of this turn if it's still on the board. Next, we'll go ahead and activate Thunder Dragon effect to add a Thunder Dragon. Then we'll go ahead and activate that effect again to discard the next Thunder Dragon to get us an additional Thunder Dragon. Well, what do we do from here? Well, we've already got 1 summon on the board. Let's go ahead and get us to our second and third so we can set up a negation in case of Nibiru. So we'll go ahead and do K966A Jokel, reveal it, and Thunder Dragon, special summon both. Jokel effect to grab us an Azuna. So this is technically our 3rd summon. And we'll go ahead and get a Azuna to our hand. Then we'll overlay with these 2 to go into our K9 17 Ripper. We'll attach the Jokel to add us a Lantern, or well, not a Lantern, but a case for K9. Then we'll activate a case for K9 to get us a K9 66B Lantern. This way we can further play through some interactions and get us some more summoning. So we'll go ahead and get us the 66B Lantern to special out the Jokel. Lantern effect to grab us a spell. We'll go ahead and grab us that X-Force Released from the deck after we target and summon it with the Jokel. So, X-Force Release. Get that to our hand. So we have Azuna, Thunder Dragon Roar, and these few out on the board. So, what do we do here? Well, we're not going to Xyz summon, so we're going to go ahead and utilize these 2 as a link. So, we're going to go ahead and link these 2 off and go directly into our Cross Sheep. So, what are we seeing here so far? Well, we have a Ripper on board, a Cross Sheep, a Mental Tuner, and we have the fun capabilities of 2 Thunder Dragons and 2 K9s in the graveyard. We'll go ahead next and activate Mental Tuner effect, banishing the Thunder Dragon Roar from our hand and a Thunder Dragon from our graveyard. This way we can increase its level by 2, making it a level 5. And then being able to summon off our actual monsters in the grave, we'll go ahead and summon us a Thunder Dragon Dark, since we banished a Thunder Dragon Roar. We'll next go ahead and synchro with these 2. Since they're both level 5, go directly into our Chaos Angel if we would like to. And in this case, we probably should. The other option is to go into a link or just use the Thunder Dragon Dark to go into a Thunder Dragon Colossus. But we're going to trigger the Thunder Dragon Roar Dark effect to get us a Thunder Dragon card. We'll get the Thunder Dragon Hawk. We'll next discard the Thunder Dragon Hawk to special summon us a Thunder Dragon card. So we could do Thunder Dragon Roar, Thunder Dragon, or Thunder Dragon Dark in the graveyard, in which we'll go ahead and summon an OG Thunder Dragon and contact fuse it off for Thunder Dragon Colossus. We have yet to normal summon here, so we have a lot of capability of further going wider if we'd like to, But do note, since we fusion summoned here, we can drop our opponent's monsters. Since we're going first, it doesn't really matter, by 700 attack since we have an Xyz pointing to it. But since we have a fusion, we can summon back the Mental Tuner. Next, we'll go ahead and normal summon the K9 17 Azuna, utilizing its effect to send to the graveyard a K9 00 Lupus. So what do we want to utilize here? Well, in this case, you have a couple plays in which you could do. You could take the Mental Tuner and the Cross Sheep and go directly into IP Masquerena. Or, since it's a level 3 and a level 5, you can go into your Chaos Archfiend. In this case, since we're going first, we want to go into IP Masquerena, so that way we could turn our Azuna or our Jax or our Ripper into any real plays. Do note I did miss the Branded Regain trigger, in which we would have to shuffle one back, so it would probably be the Thunder Dragon Roar and draw one, which is the case for K9 anyways. So that is my fault on that missed timing. But that is a mandatory effect. When a card or cards are banished, you target one of them and put it back on the bottom, draw a card. But as you see here, we basically have a way of going K9 Azuna and Lupus during our opponent's turn. Lupus to special summon itself. Take these two, go into Jax and get a free pop on our opponent's monsters during their turn or cards. Nope, it's just one monster on the field and destroy it. When it's summoned, you just attach one and destroy that. So we'll attach the K9 Azuna and then pop a card on our opponent's board. And then if they want to further interact, we'll go ahead and force released, utilizing either the Jax or the Ripper. In this case, it's probably safer to keep the Ripper, go into the X Werewolf, or if you want to keep the pop around to utilize for IP Masquerena and Jax, to allow you to go into SP Little Knight, not Dark, during your opponent's turn, to get a free banish on the board and a free banish out of their hand. So you've already basically gotten rid of 3 cards, and you have further capabilities of just beating over for more damage. Overall, you've pretty much set up a good board lock in which next turn when you draw, you're basically set. Overall, guys, that's what I have for a going first hand, in which you set up a really good board with a Chaos Angel with both its effects. So synchro monsters you control are unaffected by monster effects activated by your opponent, and monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle, which gives you further protection for the Thunder Dragon Colossus and the K9X Werewolf and the SP Little Knight. So they can't really beat over them and destroy them by battle. But you've also ripped a card out of your opponent's hand with the K9X Werewolf, and you've banished 1 card on the field with the SP Little Knight effect, while also being able to pop with Jax or get a negate with Ripper, because you've been able to detach the Thunder Dragon to prevent an effect from activating in hand or graveyard. So, outside of that, you've prevented them from searching and being able to further their plays. Overall, that is a pretty daggone good turn, in which can further hinder your opponent greatly. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what our first going second hand looks like. All right, for our going second hand, let's see what we get. We got 1 Thunder Dragon Dark, 1 Bestial Magnemite, a case for K9, a Thunder Dragon Hawk, and a Bestial Druid Swarm. That is our first 5 cards, which can be very great overall. Especially if we're going against our opponent. We're going to say that we have no interaction, just going second, see what we draw. We've already got a really good solid normal summon as well. So what do we want to utilize here? We'll go ahead and utilize that case for K9, and then be able to go through and add us a K9 66A Jokel. So we'll grab us that Jokel. Be able to go straight into a free special summon of it and Thunder Dragon Dark. This is great because we can further our plays and do some other interesting things utilizing these cards. We'll next activate 66A Jokel effect, being able to grab us another K9 card, or monster, excuse me. In this case, what we're wanting to grab is a K9 17 Azuna. You'll see as to why here in a minute. So in this case, we'll go ahead and overlay these two, go directly into our K9 17 Ripper. We'll go ahead and detach the Thunder Dragon Dark. Thunder Dragon Dark effect will then trigger, giving us a Thunder Dragon card, in which we can then grab us a Thunder Dragon Roar. So we already got our Nibiru protection up. We'll go ahead and next normal summon Mental Tuner. Mental Tuner effect to banish the Thunder Dragon Roar. We're not going to banish any other cards. To increase its level to 4. Thunder Dragon Roar effect summon from our deck, which will be a base Thunder Dragon. The Thunder Dragon that we're going to summon off of this, we can then utilize for other things. But the fun fact that we're going to utilize it for is we're going to discard Thunder Dragon Hawk to revive a Thunder Dragon Dark. So, what do we do from here? In this case, we'll go ahead and take that base Thunder Dragon after... Yep, we'll take the base Thunder Dragon, go into our Thunder Dragon Colossus and set up that. Next, we'll go ahead and banish our Thunder Dragon by special summoning Bestial Magnemite. Magnemite effect to grab a Bestial at the end step. We'll next go ahead and take... Let's see here. So we can still utilize these cards while on the board, but in this case, we're going to go ahead, since we're wanting to do more damage, since it's a 4, a 5, and a 6, we'll go ahead and go directly into our Chaos Angel with the Mental Tuner and the Bestial Magnemite. Banish a card, and then we protect our monsters from battle damage. Next, we'll go ahead and special summon the Bestial Druid Swarm by banishing a not a Mental Tuner. I grabbed the wrong one there. A Bestial Magnemite. We'll next then go ahead and link these two away into a Cross Sheep. Well, okay, we've already set up our fusions and everything. What are we going to do from here? Well, we still have the fun capability of activating some things, because more than likely our opponent's going to try and activate a couple cards in response and all of these effects. So we would be able to normal summon the Canine Azuna. We're going to say we tried to negate it with Ripper. Canine Azuna effect to basically get us a Lupus in graveyard, since a card effect was activated in hand. We'll send Lupus, special summon the Lupus. And then we'll go with Canine Lupus and Azuna directly into our Canine 66X Jax. We'll get a free pop on it, since it has been been special summoned this turn by detaching the Lupus. So we have 23, 26, 35, 26, and 700. And we're dropping all our opponent's monsters by 700 attack. We've also popped one, banished one, preventing our opponents from being able to search. And we've negated a monster effect that was in hand or graveyard. So overall, we've actually got a decent board here in which we could just swing out for further damage and do a decent amount. We've also got the free send off of Bestial Druid Swarm, which I almost forgot. So we've effectively gotten rid of 3 monsters plus 1 in hand. And we're beating over for, let's see, 35 plus 26. That is 61, plus 23 is 84, plus 26 is 11,000, so 11,700 in total if we were to swing out directly for damage. Even if there is some actual protection there, they would have to have enough to prevent us from further swinging out and doing more damage. But the case for Canine gives these two an additional 900, so outside the 11,700, we're giving both of these 900, so that's an additional 1,800. So we're looking at effectively 13,500 damage overall just from this board alone. All right, so Outside of that, if our opponent tries to come back next turn, they're not going to be able to search anything because Colossus is on board. And we also have it for protection during our battle phase. Well, protection from battle. That's all I have for this going second hand, but I hope you guys did enjoy it. And we'll go ahead and take a look and see what happens for our next going second hand. All right, let's go ahead and see what our final going second test hand would be. So we get Bestial Magnemite, K904 Noroi, which is the new card I added by cutting one of the Bestial Lubellions, a Thunder Dragon Fusion, a Gold Sarcophagus, and a Thunder Dragon Dark. So we're already looking pretty good here with some good effects. In this case, let's go ahead and utilize these cards. In this case, we'll go ahead and well, first we have to draw a card before I forget. So what's our next draw? It's a Bestial Sarnier. This is actually really good overall. So we'll go ahead and activate the Gold Sarcophagus, banishing a Thunder Dragon Roar from our deck. We'll go ahead and allow that to happen. Thunder Dragon Roar effect to activate engrave to special summon us a Thunder Dragon monster from our deck. In this case, we're wanting to look at more along the lines of just probably base Thunder Dragon. This way we can utilize their effects later on, but we're going to also assume their opponent has at least 2 cards in their hand, so we can normal summon this. But if not, we can tribute off the Thunder Dragon to normal summon Noroi. Noroi effect to special summon a K9 card from our deck. We'll go ahead and special summon the Lantern. I know this seems a little bit backwards, but you're going to understand why here in a second. We'll next go ahead and activate K9 Lantern's effect, getting us a spell or trap in which we'll get the case for K9. We'll next overlay these two for our 4th summon and go directly into our K9 17 Ripper, in which we can detach either the Noroi or the Lantern. We'll go ahead and detach the Lantern and add us a K9 Azuna. All right, so what do we got here? So we have at least 2 banishes that we can utilize off of this, and then we'll go ahead and activate a case for K9, in which we can add a K9 66A Jokel. This will give us a free special summon of a level 5 anyways, in which we'll go ahead and activate Jokel to special summon it and the Thunder Dragon Dark. We'll next activate Jokel effect, getting us another K9 card, specifically a monster, from our deck to our hand, in which we'll go ahead and get us another Azuna that we can utilize for our next, or during our opponent's turn. Excuse me. So we've already gotten this down, so we'll go ahead and take those 2 and go directly into an IP Masquerena. I know you're thinking, why IP? That doesn't make much sense. Well, it's because we're going to utilize Thunder Dragon Dark effect to get us a Thunder Dragon card from our deck to our hand, in which we're going to get the Thunder Dragon Hawk. We'll go ahead and discard that Hawk to get us the Thunder Dragon Roar onto our board and be able to further link it, or well, contact fuse, not link it, into the Thunder Dragon Colossus. It's your choice if you want to special summon attack or defense. I usually special summon defense in case I don't kill for the turn. But either way, it prevents our opponent from searching cards, in which they just have to force draw it. We'll next go ahead and special summon the Bestial Magnemite by banishing a Thunder Dragon. Bestial Magnemite effect to get us a Bestial or Dragon card at the end of the turn. We'll next banish another card, in which we'll banish the Thunder Dragon Roar to summon Sarnier. Sarnier to send Bestial Lubellion. We'll next go ahead and send the Sarnier to summon the Lubellion. Lubellion effect to get us the Branded Regained. The Branded Regained is going to give us some capability to further our draws and get more capability of going further. Also, if you're running the Hope Harbinger, here's the play in which you could take Colossus and Bestial Lubellion and go directly into that. But we're not utilizing that right now, as we're going to hold off. Now, here's the fun fact in which you could have done. You could have done this in the reverse order, but there's a reason as to why I'm not doing it now, because I want more damage on the board. And I don't think drawing a card would really help, even though Itelli would be there, apparently. But either way, what we can do here next is go ahead and we're going to say our opponent tried to activate a monster effect. If not, we still have the K917 Izuna, but we'll go ahead and activate the Thunder Dragon Fusion, fuse back the Thunder Dragon, and Dark and Hawk. We're going to utilize those if we've already used the Brandy Regained. But if we haven't, we're going to leave the Dark in the graveyard and shuffle back the Thunder Dragon, the Thunder Dragon Hawk, and the Thunder Dragon Roar, and make us a Thunder Dragon Titan. So we'll go ahead and make the Thunder Dragon Titan, which can further our plays anyways. So overall, we have Thunder Dragon Titan, we have K917 Ripper, Thunder Dragon Colossus, Bestial Magnemite, Bestial Lubellion, and we have a decent amount of lights and darks in the graveyard, specifically just all darks right now, to further our plays in which we can do more damage. Now, here's the fun part. If we did go the other play and ended up getting the emergency teleport, which would have been our draw, we're going to say that we got it. What would have we done then? Well, if we had the emergency teleport off the draw and put the last Thunder Dragon back into rotation, because we wouldn't be able to special summon at this point, since we have a full board. Before we go into the Titan, we could activate emergency teleport and banish one of them, taking a mental tuner, going mental tuner and either Bestial Magnemite into our bigger boy, which would be the Chaos Archfiend, so we can attack everything at least once for 4,500. Or we could take the Bestial Lubellion and mental tuner and go into our Bestial Baldrake. Or excuse me, Bestial Dissipator, not Baldrake. So we would end on something like this. Or we could end with, instead of these, if we're going for more of an OTK board, with the Chaos Archfiend instead. And we still have the K9 Izunas for further follow-up during our turn, because we would have banished our last Thunder Dragon monster, which would have been Thunder Dragon Dark, or we could have banished really a Sarnier or Jokul or Lantern, either way. But either way, we can still swing for 4,500 damage into every monster our opponent controls. We have where we've locked their board from being able to be searching anything from their main deck outside of drawing it. We have a monster negate in hand or graveyard. We have the capability of popping cards, but it's just a 3,200 beater. And this is just a 2,500 beater. But say we want to go a little further. What would we do here? Well, to answer that question, what you could do is, if you're going against a dark deck, you could take IP Masquerena and Bestial Lubellion and go into Dark Charmer and steal one of their dark monsters that's in their graveyard and special summon it and do even more damage. There's so many things that you could have ended on with this board that there's not just one single answer. But either way, guys, overall, you're looking still at 32 plus 23 plus the additional 900 that you're getting from the case for K9 if they've activated a monster effect this turn in hand or graveyard, plus the 4,500 on everything, plus 25. You are effectively looking over 10k on our side of the board just from this, because 45 plus 25 is 7k, plus 23, that's 93, plus 32, that is 11,500. If we had the Colossus in attack, that is 11,500 plus 26, that is 14,100, plus an additional 8 is 14,900 attack, not even taking into the account of a boost for K9, which would put us to effectively overall 15,800 damage if we got to boost the Ripper. So, overall, effectively, we have done a lot of damage to our opponent, while also being able to set up negates, pop cards, banish cards, interact with our opponent, and set up various different boards in which we can interact. Either way, guys, that's all that I have time to show you guys today. I hope you all greatly enjoyed. I'm sorry for the horrible spacing, but if you did, please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.
Is it okay if I'm to say I'm catching feelings from all the dealings? Am I astray? What do you say? How are you feeling? Is it the same?